right, welcome to EETF 64. I'm Patrick, and I hope you guys are doing great. So tonight, this is a bit of a not minimal, but reduced crew, if you like, for a easygoing episode, quirky questions. Let's just shoot the breeze and see what happens. I have with me back on the show as usual, Nick Bamback. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me again, Patrick.
No problem at all.
And I love that you think that we're easygoing guys. I think that made me laugh a little.
Well, I mean, actually, if there is a super strict, cynical asshole in the group, it's me. So
Kyle's currently pointing at somebody, but I don't know who he's pointing at.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's not Patrick, I'll tell you that.
Okay, well, thanks.
Wait a minute, what?
Okay, welcome, Nick. Also, we have fellow Canadian, Mike Drew. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing all right. Welcome back, Mike.
Thank you.
And we also have not fellow American, but American, a new regular, let's say, Kyle Hildreth. How are you, sir?
Doing great, thank you. Sorry for being so late, but the Grizzly Bear is here.
Okay.
Do you have a sound drop for that?
That's for all the kids.
Yeah.
The Grizzly, the Riz. Nick knows.
Nick is laughing.
He's our current young
Cut
person.
this out.
I don't know what's going on.
Is Kyle our resident bear, I guess?
That too. I'm the Grizzly Bear.
Shit.
Thank you. You guys might not like it, but your kids are going to love it.
It's a Massachusetts thing.
I've been watching a lot of videos on Instagram.
That's why Hector's not here tonight. He's like, Kyle's going to say that. And I can't be there.
He'd be peeing his pants right now.
Yeah, I can deal with this shit. I'm staying out of it.
Doing fine.
Right.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good. Always welcome.
Thank you.
So let's throw quirky questions around, but actually we're going to catch up a little bit because Mike, you weren't there on the last quirky questions, I don't think.
No, I was.
So you missed out on 3 absolutely brilliant questions, and lucky you.
Okay.
You will have the chance to answer them now, actually, if you want.
Sure.
So the first question would be, what is something unbelievable that you did or saw, but no one was around to witness it?
Okay. I'm stealing. This is not my story. This is actually my dad's story. So credit to my dad.
Mr. Drew.
Mr. Drew. Not just for what my students call me.
Your kids call you that too?
Yeah, they do.
Mr. Drew.
Well, they probably call me other things behind my back, but that's the difference. Yeah.
Or they call you Hey?
Hey. I've been called Grandma. I've been called everything.
Wow.
I usually get Dad or Mom, but I have been called Grandma once, which was hilarious. It was a little kindergarten student, like 3-4 years old. And then I'm like, is your grandma bald? And she goes, Mr. Drew.
Okay.
I think his grandma's bald.
That's the story. No, okay. So this story is my dad's. It happened about 20 years ago. Sorry, did you ask me the question already? I knew the question.
Yeah, the first one, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this happened about 20 years ago. It's already off the rails.
Oh, yeah, big time.
So this is before people, like a lot of people had cell phones or GPS or what have you. And anyway, my dad was in a small town not far from us. And he was looking for a street and he couldn't find this address. So he's driving down the road in the area that he thinks it's in, and he sees a woman walking down the other side of the street. So he kind of pulls over on his side, so he's not close to her, like there's the road between them, and she's on the sidewalk. And he says, hey, can you help me? I'm looking for whatever road. And she starts to give him directions. Now, as she's giving him directions, all of a sudden my dad says, all I hear is, and it's getting louder, progressively louder. And he looks in his rearview mirror and he sees a purple golf cart, like custom painted, bright purple, coming down the road. Okay. And it goes right between them. So that my dad's parked on the one side of the road, and this woman is standing on the sidewalk. So it goes, and it goes right between them as she's giving directions. So my dad caught enough of what she had said, and he says, oh, thanks for that. I couldn't find it. And he goes, you must see that all the time. And she said, see what? And he said, that purple golf cart. And she goes, what purple golf cart? And he's like, the one that literally went between us and is down the road. And she turns and she goes, I didn't see that at all. And when he told me that story, I laughed. And my expression for situations like that is like, her vote counts as much as yours. That's what I'm saying.
Fair.
Yeah. So that's that. And I don't know. And for me, I really struggled with that question. I was like, I don't know any. Like I've never seen anything lights in the sky or anything like that. But that story always makes me laugh.
So your favorite candy bar is a purple golf cart?
Yeah. He's like, well, my dad goes like, I could have swore, he goes, it was probably some kid in the neighborhood who owned it. And, you know, people are just used to seeing it. But not only did she not know what it was, like she didn't even see it. And it went literally right between them. But
So she was so focused on giving the right directions that she completely blanked on the...
I apparently. And he's
Jesus.
like, and I heard it coming, my dad goes, I heard it coming down the road. I saw it in the rear view because he was like, what the hell was that? And then he saw it. It went right between them and she had no idea.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good tunnel vision right there, I guess.
I guess.
Okay, wow. All right. And question 2 would be, what was the longest you've waited in line for anything at all?
I'm not 100% sure because I didn't time it, but I'm pretty positive the longest I ever waited was about 4 hours. And it was at Toronto Pearson Airport. We were flying back from Australia. We landed in LA. You switch from Qantas to, I think it was American. We flew American from LAX back to Toronto. When we landed in Toronto, we found out that there was a problem with the plane where all the luggage was underneath. They put up like basically a curtain to kind of keep it into 2 sections. And I guess the curtain had let go and all the luggage like was blocking the door. So they couldn't actually open the door. But we didn't know that for like the first 2 hours. Nobody was saying anything. And then we had to wait like an additional 2 hours, or sorry, longer than that, probably 3 or 4 hours in line just to fill out paperwork before we could actually go.
Wow.
Yeah. And by the time my bag had got back to me, it has seen more of the continental United States than I ever have.
Okay.
Yeah, it had gone from like Dallas, Fort Worth.
Mhm.
Jesus.
Then it went to Atlanta. Then it went to Chicago. Then it went to New York. And then it flew to Toronto.
Wow, your bag is like a whore.
My bag, I'm going to... Thank you. I'm not going to... I don't have a comeback for that.
Did it have any of the stickers from each place it stopped, like on a cartoon?
It did. That's how I knew.
like
I was just like, oh my God.
Oh,
At least
wow.
they're-
And I mean, isn't that's kind of related, but isn't the Toronto airport notorious for losing luggage?
Never. They are a fine bunch of folk who you don't ever have to worry. I mean, that's the only real problem we've ever had there. But I know, was it last summer or two? I guess like kind of 2022 when things started to really open up during the pandemic again. It was notoriously like one of the worst airports in the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to be good at something.
Knock on wood, I've never really had an issue other than that one. And it wasn't even their fault. That was the plane. So, yeah, that's the longest I ever had to wait. The only saving grace, and the only thing I ever say was the drummer from Stone Temple Pilots must have been on our flight. I didn't see him because him and his wife or girlfriend or whatever, they were in line filling out the exact same paperwork as us. So,
Well, that's funny.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did anyone recognize them besides
One
you?
guy.
Yeah, I did.
Grandma.
Like Drew.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I didn't have like I think my cell phone was like a crappy flip phone at that point, and I never asked him for a picture. And we were all exhausted, right? Like we've been traveling for
That's
a
last
day
time
at that
we'd be
point.
bothered. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but he had great hair and it still looked good. So good on him.
Even up to 4 hours. Nice.
Yeah.
Is there
So-
one airline for Canada, like Canada Air, or do they have a bunch
Air
of different-
Canada?
Air Canada.
Air Canada.
Air Canada's kind of owned by the government.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have like a couple charters like WestJet and Air Transat. But if we didn't have a national airline, sorry, I know this is like,
No, this is what I
Whatever.
asked. I have
yeah.
no idea.
if we didn't have a national airline, like who's going to fly to Yellowknife, right? There's
Yeah.
not enough money to be made, or who's
Mhm.
going to fly to, wherever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we kind of have to have it.
I know
That's
an
a quirky
asshole
question.
lives in Yellowknife. No,
I,
Aw.
I'm kidding. We love you, John Mudford.
yeah.
Oh, wait, Mufford? Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
Mudford.
I'm up.
All right. And third question would be, if you could go back in time to relive one memory from your life, what would it be? No wedding day or birth of your kids stuff, please.
Yeah, see, that's hard. That's hard because, you want to do something like that. So, I mean, the first thing I thought of would be something where the majority of my relatives were probably still, like the ones that are past, like
Mhm.
the ones, so something like a Christmas day where everybody was there or something. That's kind of the mushy one. and that's probably the one I would go with if I was allowed to, if I couldn't do wedding or, whatever. I don't know.
I'm trying to like be creative here, or force you to be creative.
Yeah, I
here.
mean,
Screw your family.
yeah. if it can't be like family related or something like that, I'd love to go back. I mean, the first concert I ever saw was Bruce Springsteen, and I was 10. I'd love to probably kind of see that again. I mean, and like you said in your question, like I'm not allowed to change anything or what have you, but I think that'd be a fun experience. And I'd love to know what the old ex was like. And, my parents would have been younger then. And, well, obviously we're all younger. That's the way time works.
Usually.
So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, something like that would be fun. But yeah, I mean, if it's not the mushy one, then it's something like that.
Oh, I mean, first concert is a good one. I think mine was when I got my visa to stay in Germany.
Oh, nice.
That was like top of the world, like a awesome feeling. So maybe that can jog your memory or...
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you one, when you say that, like that awesome feeling, I remember I think I was 6 or 7, and my uncle played guitar, and I remember... I used to like pick it up all the time. He was really cool in that sense. He just let me whatever. And I remember having it on my lap, and I just like was picking at the open E string. And I think I remember kind of figuring out that was the first note of Dirty Deeds. So I remember kind of playing with it, and I was like just on one string, but I'm like, dun, 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 and I figured it out.
That's awesome.
So, and that was like, I need to play guitar. So that was, yeah. So I think maybe something like that too.
Yeah, that's solid.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so quirky questions. Mine was, it's not even a question as such. It's more of a statement and then go.
Oh,
so my question / statement would be cars. How many cars have you owned so far? And is there something about one of them that stands out in your mind? I asked my brother that question yesterday. He is 2 years older than me, and his answer was 18.
18?
Yeah, he loves to mess around with engines and stuff like that.
Are you 94 years old?
He is a wizard with that kind of stuff, and I'm the complete opposite. He is 54.
Yeah. Okay.
Or really like bad driver. That's a good cars.
He's just taking them off cliffs. Wow.
So yeah, cars. So Nick, what about you?
Okay, so admittedly, I'm not much of a car guy. I'm very practical. I just like a regular 4-door car. I'm trying to think. My first car that I got in high school, I got it used. Every car I've had was used. I've never had a brand new car.
Same.
And I remember I had it for about 3 years, and then I went to a friend's house and it literally died. And the car was, I think it was like a 2000 or 2001, and basically just died. And it was more money to fix the car than to just like repo it. So we repoed it. And I got my mom's car, which she loved. It was all paid off. And ironically, I think it was a 2001 Buick. And that's my car brand, by the way. That's the car that I'm most comfortable with. And
interesting.
Old man brand, old man car.
Old man music, old man car.
Yes.
Everything about me is old, guys.
Old soul.
True. I can't help that. So my mom's Buick had it for about 6 years, and then it died too. So then it was cheaper to repo it. And then I got my first car that I leased, and it was I had a Buick Verano that I leased, and then I ended up trading it in 3 years later at the end of the lease for a Buick Encore, which is like a kind of like a hybrid between a regular car and like a truck, but it's like, it's a nice car. But then the car that I got, a Buick Verano again. Okay, the thumbs up, I guess, just went up.
Yeah,
what the hell?
Like the balloons the other day.
Balloons. Let's see if balloons come up. Oh, come on.
I think you need to do this.
There you go.
Happy birthday, Nick.
I am not a crook.
2 peace signs, you get confetti.
Can you imagine that happened back then? The American public would have loved Nixon. There's like balloons. He's like, yeah, he's not a crook. We all love him.
There you go.
So I was just thinking, then I traded my Buick Encore because I had that for about 3 years then. And then I got my Buick Verano that I got when I lived in New York. That was a funny story. So I had 5 cars total, but that story was funny because I bought it from a dealership. It was used, but it was practically new because there was a lady who was in her like 80s and she only drove it to church, the grocery store, and like to see her grandkids. So she had like 8,000 miles on it.
Those are the best ladies.
Wow.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
So I practically got like a new car and I got a good deal for it. And actually, I'm proud of myself, guys, because in about 8 months or so, it'll be completely paid off. So
Nice.
I could say I own my first car.
Now, what you said you have an Encore now?
Verano. I got
Verano.
the last, because I love the Buick Verano, but they stopped making that in 2016. So I got that. I was specifically looking for that because I had the 2013 one, and I think Peyton Manning did those commercials for that for like the longest time. So like that was like the claim to fame for it. But I'm not much of a car guy. I'm just like,
You seem like a pretty big Buick guy.
I am a big Buick guy. You know what it is? I think my parents all had either Fords or Buicks. Like my mom had Buicks, my dad had Fords. So, you know.
Show them your Buick tattoo. Show them the tattoo.
Oh, I can't show them where that is, Drew.
Oh, never mind.
If he does that, then something else comes on the screen and you don't want to see it.
Nice.
So that's 5 total.
I believe 5 cars total, if I had to guess. Yes.
Okay. Kyle, go ahead. Sorry.
The Encore, the Verano, what is that style? Is this the one that's a half truck? Or is it just a sedan?
No, it's a sedan.
It's a sedan. It's just a regular car, like a 4-door. Like the Encore is more like it's kind of like a cross between like a sedan and like a mini truck. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, like a Trar?
Yeah, like a hybrid, a little
Wow.
like a hybrid kind of style. Let me see if I can find it.
For taste
It's
and
a
more,
whatchamacallit. It's like a mini SUV. That's what my mom has.
Yeah.
Okay, huh. Interesting.
Okay. Okay. So, Drew, what about you?
So I'm not really a car guy.
No, I mean,
no,
you don't have to be.
No.
It's
Listen. I got a good one. So, but I'm kind of like Nick in the sense for me, they're just a means to an end. They get me from A to B.
Same.
That said, I'm probably like your brother. I've probably had at least 15, if not more.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and
15?
probably. So,
Holy.
and my wife, and the reason is my wife we used to work for BMW. And so she ran what they call the employee lease program at the time. So basically, we had new BMWs or minis I think they clocked out at 12,000 kilometers or 6 months, whichever came first.
Okay.
And then we'd flip. So we would have, anywhere between 4 to 8 new BMWs every year for a few years. Yeah. So, and I'm not even including some of them because I'm sure I forgot some. I will just say my favorite 2 cars that I think we've ever owned was they had brought back the 323 at one point when she was there.
The BMW?
Yeah, BMW. And the BMW 323 was it's not known as being a fast car or anything. Again, it's kind of like a sedan, but it was really fast off the line. It was really quick off the line. And it had the worst Michelin tires on it I've ever had. So anything under 10 degrees Celsius, which is 40 something degrees Fahrenheit, you were slipping and sliding everywhere. So that was a pain in the ass.
Not ideal for Canada.
Not ideal for Canada. I think we ended up having that one kind of I remember being in the spring. So we would still get some cold mornings. And I remember taking it to work one day, and I remember just going around a corner. I didn't even go fast, and I fished. I did a 180. And I was just and everybody's like, oh my God, look at that dumbass in the BMW, right? Because most people who drive BMWs are dumbasses. Sorry. But it was fun. But I think my favorite car that I ever owned, I have two. We had a Ford Edge, which is like an SUV, kind of like the Encore, bigger. I really liked that car. And we had a Chevy HHR at one point. That was a lot of fun. It was not a fast, but it was practical and it was comfortable. And yeah, I really liked that.
Oh,
and then my dad is a car guy. So I always kind of grew up with cars and stuff like that. But yeah, those were my 323 was probably one of my favorites. And the other 2, like I mentioned. So
HHR, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at one right now. It's a very peculiar shape.
It's a toaster car.
The Heritage hard roof. Yeah. So it's the same guy who designed the PT Cruiser.
That's what I had in mind. Yep. Kind of like old and new at the same time.
Yeah. I never liked the PT Cruiser. And then the Chev one I liked. And I remember we had a guy. So my dad had a connection with a guy who would get stuff off lease or ex rentals.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him what I was looking for. And he called me one day and he goes, I got a silver one. And they actually, the first time he called me, he goes, I got a black one. And my wife went, no, it looks like a hearse. I went, okay. So we got the silver one.
Fair.
Yeah, it did. And the silver one listen, it wasn't fast and it wasn't, but we had it as a manual because we can both drive.
A manual, okay.
Yeah, we can both drive sticks. So
a manual PT Cruiser?
No, HHR.
Oh, HHR, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never liked the PT Cruiser. I thought it was weird looking.
It's a little person hearse, yeah.
Yeah. But it's the same guy. I don't know whoever designed it. And then I think like GM pulled him back for this. And
wow. Nice. And okay, yeah. Thanks. What about you, Kyle?
I think I've had 3. Yes, 3.
Okay.
I'm the oldest. My brother's younger, so I got my mom's old car when she was done with it. And that was a Subaru GL, which was a tiny little go-kart. 4-door sedan, but I mean, you could put a penny in the back and do the Papa Wheelie. And we ran that one pretty good. My brother got in an accident, so he and my dad had to put on a new front end. It was a silver car.
Sorry, what year was it?
89
Okay.
Subaru GL.
Okay.
And yeah, so he got in the accident. It was a silver car. They put a red front on the front because that's all they could get from the junkyard. So we called it the Fireball. And I ran that all through high school. Well, halfway through high school when I had my license. Maybe probably the last year of high school, really. Okay, I didn't even drive this in high school at all. No, my senior year of high school, my brother had it when I was in college. And then I had it afterwards when I started working. And I drove it to work one day and the wheel fell off. I parked in the parking lot and the wheel just went chunk. And like the axle broke. So that was the end of that one. I needed another one. My mom was getting rid of her second car, so I got that, a Subaru Outback. And that was okay. They're weird. They're good because awesome in the snow. That's the best part about them. They got good not towing. What the hell am I towing with a Subaru Outback? Good cargo space in the back and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they're ticky-tacky and fixing them and all their parts and breaking down. So my wife has one now, but we won't talk about that because that's...
I had a friend who was a body guy and he worked in a shop and he told me he always hated like when the German stuff would come in. Mm. He goes, because if you got a Ford or a GM, he's like, and say there was a side panel had been whatever, or like the door had been, he's like to replace like the lever for the window was like clip here, little screw there, done. And he's like the German ones, there'd be like a little widget here and then it would come down to this and there'd be another. And he's like, it was just a pain in the butt.
Anything European. Yeah. But yeah, Hondas and Toyotas like Lego cars. That's what I have now, Honda Pilot. And I've had that since 2007. So what's that?
Okay.
17 years? And that's the best. Oh, we went to get a new car because the got in an accident with the Outback. Driving straight to work one day. Girl pulled out in front of me, tagged her back and spun her around. Was her fault, not mine. But it crushed the engine enough where it couldn't be fixed. So we went and got this new one, and we're looking for something smaller, maybe like a CRV. But then we saw the Pilot, and we're like, oh, it fits better. But it seemed so huge when we first got it. It's like, this is like way too much. And now it seems just like a normal car. But comfortable.
How many miles do you have on it?
226.
Nice.
That thing doesn't owe you a penny.
I know, but it's just, it's so good. Well, hold on, knock on wood. I say that now. Just had all the suspension changed and there's always stuff falling apart on it, but it's great so far. Yeah.
Very nice. 3 would be my answer as well. I got that was in 89. I got the 1981 Toyota Tercel from my mom.
Nice.
She was done with it.
It's a common theme.
Yes. And I kept it. So that was in 89. I kept it until 2001.
Nice.
And the engine was still running perfectly, but it fell apart.
Rusted out.
Yeah. Our crappy winters here, it's like...
it's weird. Out west, they don't have that. They call it East Coast rust.
Well, it's the salt on the roads too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My brother lived out in Denver for a while, and he said they don't have that at all. He had a Jeep out there, and it had none of the problems that you have back here.
That's why if you go to Cuba, they've got they can still fix the old Fords and stuff because the weather's perfect for them.
That's true.
Not because of communism?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Weather.
And after that, in 2001, I got a 1993 Mazda Protege.
Oh.
The more sportish type. I kept it until I lived in Germany. I asked my dad to sell it because it was sitting in the driveway. And when I got back, Steph gave me her old car, the blue Toyota Matrix, 2003, and I sold it last weekend. So
wow.
So yeah.
So now you have nothing, or
through a family friend, we got a great deal on a 2009 Pontiac Vibe.
Oh,
all-wheel drive.
The Vibe and the Matrix are the same car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much.
What?
Yeah, and Steph has a Vibe as well, 2007. I've never had new cars either. To me, I've always been working from home anyway, and here everything is nearby. So a clunker paid for in good condition, for me, that's money in the bank.
God, yeah.
We call them a beater. I don't know if that's a local
beater,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
no, that's the whole way around.
Okay.
Plus, they build excitement. Pontiac.
My mom had a Vibe
so,
forever. She loved it.
Oh,
I think she regrets kind of getting rid of it.
And had we not got that great deal on the new Vibe, well, the newer Vibe, I would have kept the Matrix.
Yeah,
those things are unkillable.
I think the motors were different, but I think the chassis were the same. The Toyota and Chev shared the chassis.
that's so weird.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean,
Yes.
General Motors, yeah, but it just seems so funny.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's my question.
Oh, wait, are you a car guy?
No, I can't say.
Did
I
you
am.
not hear the cars he owned?
Well, the Protege,
Blue Matrix? Yep.
the Protege was really nice. Actually, I was lucky enough; it was spotless when I got it, and that was as close to a sports car that I would ever have.
That's cool.
And besides that, it's like from A to B. That's it.
Mhm.
That's purely function,
I get you.
and that's not. To me, that's not like a status symbol or any of that shit.
No.
So yeah, so that's my question.
That's good.
Thanks. Okay, so I also have here something called pod decks. So they are like playing cards, but they have questions on them. So I could use those, or maybe you guys have good questions. Do you, or you don't?
I have two.
Yeah,
two.
please,
If nobody
please,
else
please.
has any, I got two that I can ask you.
Please.
All right. Do you want me to go with my first?
Yeah, please.
I'd like second first, please.
Okay, second first. All right. I'll go number 2 first then. Number 2
Oh
was...
my.
Wait, going
Yeah,
number two
hello.
first?
Is this going to be the clip on Instagram? Please don't tag me if it is.
I'm going to go number 2 first.
Okay. So the first question, I'll just go in the order I was going to. The first question is, what is a food that you don't like, but everybody else seems to love?
Where do you begin?
So I'll answer if you want, because
Yeah,
I can
please.
kind of give you. For me, it's condiments. Not a condiment guy. People love mayo. It's like the devil's snot to me. Like, I'm just like, who thought this was a good idea?
You're a Miracle Whip guy, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't like any of that.
Neither?
Nope. I don't like mustard. I don't like relish. I don't like ketchup. The
What?
only
Wow.
two that I not tolerate, because I actually like them. I like a lot of different hot sauces, and especially fruity ones. I like fruity ones. And I like some barbecue sauce. I don't like, there's lots that I don't like, but there are some that I really like. So
Fruity?
I'll go with them. But condiments for me, I'm not a fan.
What type of barbecue sauces?
I like
What are-
sweet ones.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like those abominations that are like white. Sorry, Tony Greathouse. What is that? Come on. Not a fan. But yeah, I like sweet one. Usually if the first ingredient is like brown sugar, I'm probably going to like it.
Tastes so good. Yeah, I understand.
But otherwise, yeah, like I'm not a vinegar guy either. So like I was
Oh.
saying, condiments, like I love salad, but I don't want a dressing on it unless it's like olive oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Olive oil and lemon I'll take, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times like vinegar, there's too much vinegar in it or something. But yeah, sorry, I thought that was an interest. I heard that
That
question.
is.
It's not mine. I can't
No,
take
that's
credit
good.
for it.
What about spicy food?
Yeah,
Are you
I like spicy. Yeah.
okay? Huh.
I say we just stay on condiments. This is great. Because if I have a salad, ironically, I use barbecue sauce as my salad dressing.
Oh,
I don't
Oh,
usually
wow.
I'll eat ranch or, Thousand Island or whatever, but I'd rather just have barbecue sauce.
nope.
I know it sounds gross. Not the white stuff, though. That's just for chicken.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was a really picky eater.
Did you get better as you traveled?
A little bit, but I'm not that much of a foodie to start with, to be honest. But do you know what forced me to try new things and stop being an idiot?
Steph.
My ex, before Steph.
Oh, okay.
Is Steph going to listen to this? Is she going to be like,
No, I mean, she knows that's cool. No, yeah, because I was like, okay, so I'm going to meet the in-laws now. So I cannot be that fucking
You have no
guy who
choice.
doesn't eat anything, you know?
My
That's a
mom
good
used to
part.
say that to me. She'd be like, when you get a girlfriend and they make you something, are you not going to? And I'm like, I probably should start eating more.
No, yeah, she had a point.
Mhm.
And that's how I started,
Yeah.
trying new things. But I mean, stuff I don't like, blood pudding.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
gross.
yeah.
How often
Uh,
does that come up, though? How often are you
That's
up with that where you're like,
That's
no,
true.
listen,
Guys,
Yeah,
haggis
yeah.
is off the list. No.
I guess it's off. Get it
How many
out.
times have I been offered that? And Jesus.
Or
What
like
is
black pudding. Black pudding.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And oh god. Well, I mean stuff like artichoke. Yeah.
Oh, I love artichoke.
Okay.
There's one in every group.
What else?
Oh, you know what I don't like, Patrick, is Brussels sprouts. That's one thing that
Okay.
because my dad will eat pretty much anything, like especially like vegetable wise, but one of the only things he won't eat is Brussels sprouts.
Really?
But I've grown to like cauliflower, and he doesn't like
Oh,
cauliflower.
I love cauliflower.
It's all in that same third tier of weird vegetables.
If they are like, grilled and a little crispy,
Mhm.
it's much better because like boiled, it's gross.
Everything boils.
Cauliflower or
gross.
Could I-
artichoke?
Cauliflower and Brussels sprouts and, broccoli and stuff like that,
Have you ever had cauliflower crack?
I don't know what that is.
So it's breaded.
Do they sell it on the street?
It's kind of like tempura.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I have my
So.
answer.
Sure.
Celery. That is one thing that I don't like for some reason. So it's funny because my mom makes a great chicken salad,
No,
but
Jesus.
she puts with celery and all that
Here we
stuff.
go.
And that's like one of the few things I'm like, don't put the celery in. There's just something about it, like it's crunchy and
It's bitter.
it's bitter,
Yeah,
and
I
I
don't
don't
like
think
it.
it adds anything.
Yeah, it's not tasty enough and it's got a lot of water in it. So in
Building material.
in a chicken salad, it's never a positive.
I think moms do that on purpose, and kids never like it.
No.
Yeah.
Question.
It's just
Ugh.
not good, and I
No,
don't like it
it's-
ever.
But it has texture. We don't want texture.
Yeah.
Not that kind, at least.
Or it's stringy if it's too
It's
stringy.
just all.
Mm,
There's
God.
no good point at any angle.
no.
Of that stuff.
One thing, actually, it's not really about taste, but one thing that drives me up the wall, it's, for example, lobster. Okay, the taste is good, but what I hate is like
Get into it.
fucking around with it for an hour before I can have a bite. That drives me crazy. I have no patience for it.
We went to a restaurant years ago. A bunch of friends and I went, and somebody got lobster, and they said, "Do you want it like deshelled or whatever they call it?"
Chucked, yeah.
Yeah, Chuck. And my friend goes, "Yeah, I'm not here to work."
There you go.
We have lobster every year, and I don't like lobster. But
Oh, okay.
I do like one part, and that's just the tiny little legs. Not the claws, not the arms on the front, but the little don't do anything legs in the back. There's the smallest amount of meat in those.
Don't do anything.
And you break them off, and I use my front teeth just to skeech the little bit of meat out. And
Skeech, is that? I need to Google that.
that's a new one.
Okay.
And that's just enough for me. If I get about 6 or 8 of those, I'm happy. They can have the rest of the crap. I'll eat maybe a piece of a claw once every 10 years, like bananas. Bananas and I don't get along. So that's all fine. But I don't mind breaking it open. That's fine too. It's just as long as you got crackers, it's fine.
It
It's
makes
messy.
such a mess too.
Oh, God, yeah. You got to eat outside. If you eat
Yeah.
You
outside,
need a bib to eat.
Yeah,
you
there you
wear
go.
eating clothes
There you go.
because you're going to get messy anyways.
Another thing that pisses me off, and it's the same kind of annoyance, if you like, steak. You could give me the best steak in the world, but if I have to fuck around with the ring of fat around it, I'm going to fuck that.
Wow.
No, yeah. For that kind of thing, I mean, I have no patience anyway, but for that kind of thing, I have even less patience.
This is like a whole sub level. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Patrick, I got a question. Is like a surf and turf kind of traumatic to you?
That's a good point. No, actually, it's not, but it's a good point. It could be.
If it's ground up and chewed beforehand, that's all set.
Well, yeah.
Like a bird.
Like birds, exactly.
Mama Steph just kind of drops it in his mouth.
And raw.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to plan it when we all get together for dinner. Eventually, we're gonna have to really plan where we're going and what we're having.
It's going to be all Jello, I think.
Yeah,
My Lord.
like
wow.
a hospital bed meal.
With a side of a cauliflower crack.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never heard that before.
please explain. What is this?
What is was like the tempura, right?
It's like tempura. So it's like it doesn't have to be deep fried, but it's
Battered?
battered. It's usually breaded.
Okay.
And then you almost eat it like a chicken wing. You have like different sauces, or like I like it with barbecue sauce, and it's delicious.
This smells like replacement food. That's what that, when you said to eat like a chicken wing,
Yeah,
this sounds like vegan or vegetarian chicken wings.
but it's actually really good.
Mm,
So
mm, mm.
mhm.
Okay. I like the breading part. That sounds good.
Besides that, you don't sound too convinced.
Next time you're up, I'll make it for you.
Okay. I mean, I've come to like cauliflower. It's never, no kid wants to eat cauliflower. And as you grow up, you just don't eat it. And then you're like, one day you see it and like, oh, okay. And now it's just a chore.
Until it starts to make sounds later. Then as a kid, I'm sure you're like, oh, this is
If
great.
I knew that power, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, we'd be all set. But yeah. And Brussels sprouts, it seems like you have to make these kind of things into something totally different to enjoy them at all. Like you got to fry them, you got to cook them so they're crispy. No one would want to boil this
Somebody
crap.
said to me once, they're like, oh, you should put bacon with them. And then I'm like,
Yeah, you should.
but if I have to put bacon with them, is it worth it? Probably not.
You will just skip to the bacon part.
That's right.
There you go.
The cauliflower pops out and you see the bacon, you're all set.
All right. Yeah, that's a really good question, actually.
Yeah, I like that. Interesting.
Well, so my other question was,
Yeah.
and again, I stole this from somebody, but what is the most used app on your phone? And I would add or iPad if you don't use your phone very much.
App.
That is, do browsers count like Safari, Chrome?
They could. I mean, that's my son. That's what he said, and he kind of explained why. I was going to say, and my wife called me out on it. So I was going to say Google Maps, and she goes, "I call you out. I call BS." She said because you only use it when we're planning trips and stuff. And we were doing that recently, so I felt like I was using it a lot. She's like, "No, you're always on Instagram or something." I'm like, "Am I?" But I think maybe when she sees me, but I don't know.
Interesting.
For me, it would probably be WhatsApp. Either that or when I'm traveling, Google Maps, for sure.
I would say mine would be a podcast app because I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
That's my answer, actually. Yes. It's Overcast. That's the one I use. It's really good.
Why do you like Overcast over something else?
It's simple and it's intuitive. You can have settings specific to each podcast. For example, you can have, they call it smart speed, I think. If it speeds up the dead air.
Oh.
So if someone talks horribly slowly.
I was going to say, how much dead air are you having on these podcasts?
Well, it depends on the podcast.
Careful, Nick. The balloons pop up.
Rocket retrospect, he must do like super smart speed.
Done in 3 minutes.
But it reduces the amount of silence, if you like. And also you can have voice boost when, it boosts the right frequencies, and that's perfect. And it's free, but you can get rid of the ads for like $10 a year or $12 a year. And it's worth it. To me, it's worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
And and I'm not paid by Overcast or anything. It's a legit good podcast app.
No, I just asked because I use the Apple, the one that comes with the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine. I don't notice anything crazy, or it's not doing anything I don't want. But it's always interesting to hear about new ones.
I use Pocket Casts, and I've used that for years.
Yeah, that's what some of my listeners tell me about that one.
Is there anything special about it?
Kind of like Patrick was saying, just you can customize some
settings.
Different things. Yeah. The one thing I don't like about it, it's gotten better recently, but the one thing I prefer, say Apple Podcast app, which it's okay. But if you type in a term, so on mine by default, it just gives you titles of like podcasts that have that as the title. So if I typed in EETF in Pocket Cast, it's only going to give me the EETF podcast. But if I type that in and say Patrick's been on an episode of somebody else's podcast where it says host of the EETF, I'll get that in in Apple Podcasts, it'll show you on the episodes.
Okay.
Pocket Cast has gotten better at that, but
Okay.
Pocket Cast has gotten better at that, but it's still not great. But everything else I really like about it.
Interesting.
My most used app, it's actually two because I can't think of which one it would be. First one, it's probably
Balloons.com. Yeah.
Letterboxd because I do like to write reviews on there, but also I like to see what the people I follow log. So I kind of like not cyber stalk people, but like I kind of just like to
Oh
see
my God.
what I like to kind of see like what they watch and then what is not
What they wear.
something I've seen and then I add it to my watch list. So that's one. And then the other one's probably Spotify because I use it a lot for music and for podcasts and stuff like that. So
Are you guys all Spotify users?
Yeah, but only for music for me, but never for podcasts.
No,
I don't know. Like, yeah, Spotify and podcasts. I don't know. Maybe it's the interface, but
it is the interface. It's weird. I don't like it for music.
yeah.
the sound isn't as good on some podcasts. So like
Huh?
I like it's really because because I also have a podcast. Like I can tell when the sound is kind of not good, and there's some where it'll be better on like Apple than Spotify.
Interesting.
It's just
That's
weird,
weird.
but it's not like every podcast. But there's certain ones where it's like it just seems like there's something off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Never noticed that.
Letterbox, what's that? I've never heard of that.
That's like a film journal website. It's kind of like IMDb, but like where you could write like film reviews and make lists and
Can you
stuff
keep
like
track
that.
of what you've seen?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So you can have your own personal account that does that.
Oh yeah.
So now, does this letterbox have movie information you can look up like IMDb?
Yeah, and you could pay for $20 a year to get where you get some benefits with it. One of them that I like is you could see on like where things are streaming, and usually it's through
Oh.
Just Watch.
That's kind of
So it makes it a lot easier because if you're doing lists and you're trying to see like, what's a movie I watched recently? Wow, I'm not going to say that one. If
Wait, what?
Godzilla -1 is streaming anywhere, you could see
Oh.
that, or I'll tell you if it's not streaming anywhere.
Mm.
So.
Which one is it, Nick? Come on.
Yeah. You gotta
Please.
spill the beans.
Oh, I was
please.
gonna say 310 to Yuma, but I'm like, damn, that's
Oh.
like 70 years old.
That's
Well,
okay.
that's not too bad. I mean,
That's a
there
good
was
movie,
a
right?
remake from like 2010-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's,
2007 with Russell
okay.
Crowe and
Yes.
Christian Bale.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And speaking of Christian Bale,
Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
that's one of my new sound bites.
Nice.
Rude.
Wow, it was like it was meant to be.
There you go.
I mean, I didn't mean anything by that. Just that you mentioned Christian Bale, and
I don't think you like Letterbox.
all right. So yeah, that's the two questions. So do I break out? Kyle, you didn't have any questions at all? Couldn't think of anything?
No, I thought about it, and then I thought back to the ones you asked me last time, and I thought about something else and just got lost. So I'm sorry. So I
Okay.
yield my time to the pod deck.
All right. Okay. So I have Would You Rather.
Would you rather is good.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
one.
Okay. But yeah,
I guess
hopefully
we'll answer after
have
you say it.
good. Sorry, I missed what you said, Kyle.
I guess we'll answer after you say it. I said no.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Would you
yeah,
rather answer this question or not?
Eh,
All right. Okay. So would you rather work with dead people in a mortuary or work in the busiest ER trauma unit in the world?
Oh, good Lord.
hey, Patrick. No. Jesus. That's
I'd
two
work
different
in
sides of the coin.
Yeah, I'd work in the ER.
Okay.
I guess.
I'm so used to noise with my job that I
It's
think the quiet would, freak me out.
You're kind of there already almost.
Creep you out, yeah.
Mhm.
I think I would go with dead people.
Really?
I think so too.
Quieter, and yeah, because like ER trauma unit, Jesus,
I mean, you're going to get dead people there too.
gunshots and car crashes, and people getting crushed by machinery, or
Yeah.
Here's the thing: they're already dead, so they can't complain about you. So
yeah, and you cannot do any worse. They're dead.
Yeah.
So
Are you saying you can't get a bad Google review from a dead person?
there you go. All right, so do I keep going with?
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, go,
Yes.
go.
Okay.
Wash that one out of our mouths.
Okay. Would you rather be in shape and have a great body but ugly face, or have a gorgeous face but be overweight?
Oh, this one's even worse. No, it's not.
Oh, I would rather have a good body and a bad face because you could always get, People look at the body, not the face, usually.
Depends on where you are.
Depends if you're a girl or not.
Also that.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
I think they look at the face first.
Yeah.
Guys are shallow. They're going to look at the body.
Butterface is a concept.
Yeah.
You know? Don't cancel me, please. You know?
No.
But
Yeah, that's a
Please.
rough one. Oh
Please.
my. Are you sure
Yeah.
this game's not called Cards Against Humanity? I don't know.
it could be. No, yeah.
Wow.
If you had a good body, you're going to lose it eventually.
Well, yeah, there it is.
And if you had a good face, that's going to change eventually too, but you're not going to probably.
If you
turn
have a
awful.
good face, can you not get in shape?
Yeah. Because that's.
Yes.
Could you also get a face transplant?
Yes. Face off.
Have you seen Face Off
Yes.
on
Yeah.
Letterboxd? Okay, yeah,
Yes,
there you
Nicholas. Yeah.
go. No more drugs for that, man.
Yeah, you got to have a good face, fat body, because you can always get rid of the fat body.
My first answer was be in shape, but I think you convinced me. Yeah.
It's just a math problem. Yeah.
And yeah, there's always like a Ozempic or whatever it's called. So
Whoa. What?
what? Okay. Okay. All right.
I prefer crack.
Okay. So next one or
Mhm.
Yes, please.
Yeah? All right.
Continue.
Okay. We are cruising right through the questions. I have like 50-ish
Oh my
of
god.
them, so we're good.
Number 3. Here we go.
We're good.
Kai would like to answer beforehand. No.
Yes. If it's like that first one, Jesus.
Okay, so would you rather wear a monitor that beeps when you're lying or beeps when you're attracted to someone?
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ.
Lying.
Oh, yeah.
Ah. Yeah,
Lying.
because yeah,
My wife, I'd be looking at my wife and it'd be like beep, 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 beep. She'd be like, will you turn that thing off? I'd be like, I don't know.
Why are you lying to so much?
And you know what? She'll
Oh.
never listen to this. So I'm not even getting brownie points for that because she'll never hear it.
Yeah, that's another math one. You got to go with lying. Or you got to accept lie.
well, I mean, if it's like, is it a loud beep that anyone around you would hear, or is it just like
It'd be like your phone going off, I would think, right?
Even if it wasn't, you would hear it. That's the thing. And you'd know what was going on.
if it's like a air horn? That's
I ask
another
a
thing.
That's not a beep.
Practical question. Where's this device located?
In your pants.
Well, yeah, that's
And as men, I think we all have that device already. That when we see somebody.
Without
I think if it would be the attractive part, it would be, are you happy to see me? Where's your beeper just going off?
Are you calling me or are you happy to see me? Yes.
Like,
yeah.
there you go. Drew, you were going to say something?
Nope. I'm not.
Okay. You thought better of it.
Smart.
I mean, actually, I got these from a promo a few years ago, and I never used them until today.
That's good.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
well, there you
That's a
go.
good.
Everything's
they
Another
came in
time.
handy.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
just. Oh, okay.
Not like that, you sickos, but yes.
Beep, beep, beep. Wait, what?
All right. Would you rather have your face printed on money or your own small town named in your honor?
Oh,
Oh boy.
that's a weird one.
Yeah. I think I would go small town because it's easier to like pretend it's someone else. It's just someone with the same last name as you, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, are we going last name or first name? I'm going to say Patrick Berg.
I will say my name as well, Patrick, because there is somebody else with my name in my town. Because you know how when you go to a store,
What?
you know how when you go to a store and they say, "Oh, can we get your phone number or your email address or whatever?" And I will say, "Oh, I don't know what I gave you," and they'll say, "Oh, what's your name?" And then there's another person named Mike Drew in Oshawa.
That's crazy.
Because they'll be like, "Oh, is this your number?" And I'm like, "No." And I've heard the same number a couple times and it's not mine. So I'm like, yeah. So we'll say it's named after him because I wouldn't like that personally.
Have you met him?
No, well, not that I'm aware of.
That's true. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
When are you going to bump into each other one day? It's going to be very weird.
Actually, I got a good one, and I don't want to one-up you, Drew, but there is a guy with the same name as me here in this city, and apparently he looks like me as well.
That's awesome.
A
Yeah, and I-
doppelganger, Patrick Dupuis.
Yeah, and I
The
think
hell?
he's got like,
A Pontiac vibe.
I don't know, maybe, but I think
He bought the Matrix.
he owns like a hair salon or something because Steph knows I think she knows him or she knew about him before meeting me.
Wait, what?
And I think that when I told her my name the first time before meeting me,
She thought he was him.
I think she thought I was the other guy.
Wow.
And she's like, hey, this guy's got his own business. And then
Well, yeah, and this psycho, antisocial psycho, and I'm stuck with the psycho and not with the rich guy. You know?
Nick's about to spit his water.
This is insane. I've never heard of
I was going to make the joke and say, "Are you sure one of your parents didn't,
name somebody the same thing.
Well, I was thinking
Having two babies?
have like a stepbrother sort of situation.
No, that's true. It could be, yeah.
Or
Wow.
like the movie Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's,
So yeah, did we get to an?
Kyle, what was your answer?
Yeah,
I'm still stuck on you guys having doppelgangers in your town. How
I didn't say they look like me. I don't know what this guy looks like.
Patrick does. And how do you not go see him?
Apparently,
I mean, not for a haircut, but just
Patrick
had
will
a-
be easy.
I know there's one guy that has my name out in Seattle, I think, and he's in prison. And he's black, so he doesn't look like me at all.
Do you get his mail?
No, I
That
got
would
Jeff
be
Galooly's mail, and I don't know who that guy. He lived here before us, but we keep getting his mail. But that's wow. I would have to go see that guy if he lived in my town with my name and looked like me.
Are you Googling Kyle Hildreth, Seattle?
No, he's there somewhere. He's was in prison. That guy. We went to a family reunion in '92, and by family reunion means people with the last name that I don't know who they are.
Mhm.
This is my grandparents took us on this trip with my mom and dad and brother. So we met a bunch of other Hildreths, and I met a Kyle Hildreth, which is cool. He's younger than I was. I was 16. He was probably 12. It was neat. And then throughout the years, you search yourself sometimes, and I have. And I've found Kyle Hildreths around the country, and one's a graphic designer, which is kind of funny. And there's another one who was in prison. And the one in prison is always interesting.
probably more interesting than the other guy.
Yeah, well, the other guy's kind of, he's just normal, does his work. Kind of, I think he lives on the East Coast somewhere. Not in my same town, which is insane. But
Okay, so
yeah.
if you guys look at the chat, I found a.
now come on.
Oh my god!
Oh,
It
that is
Patrick.
awesome.
Looks like a cross between you and Mike.
Yeah,
It does.
Wow.
Mike's got like some of the facial hair going on, but
it's
he
true.
lets it grow.
I can see that.
Is he the president of Centerville?
As this is, I think it's like a chamber of commerce or
Okay.
Yeah,
something.
nominated.
Although,
Yeah.
what is this like funny language in this article? No, I'm kidding.
Yes, yeah, Société de Développement Commercial. So that would be like,
Bless you.
chamber of commerce ish.
Gotcha.
That's Patrick,
just-
do you? It's hard to tell, and in case the listeners don't know, we've never met each other in person. Like, do you have brown eyes?
Yes,
Okay, because so do I, and so does this guy. So
and
There's
I
three of you?
think he's around my age, I think, or maybe a couple, 2-3 years younger. But no, yeah,
Is Dupuis a very common name up there in Quebec?
somewhat.
It's not Jones or Smith, but it's next level
No,
down.
not to that extent, but
Okay.
there are a few of us around.
Wow.
Yes.
I think my goal in life right now is to try to get the two Patrick Dupuis to their worlds to collide.
I would like
we
to
need
see
to
a
make this a
picture shaking
documentary,
hands.
people.
yeah.
Ooh, that'd be good.
So yeah, so there you
Very
go.
interesting.
Does Letterbox have like a form you can write that down? Listen, I got an idea.
No,
Oh, okay.
All right. So there you go.
That's fun. Wow.
Okay, so next one. Would you rather spike the punch or Xerox your butt at the next office party?
Come on. Give us a real one. You know what's a butt. It's always the butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
But can I go first? Because I don't want to be touching
Please,
what other.
Oh, you mean literally? Okay.
Yeah.
please.
No. I mean, like literally, can I use the Xerox copier first?
Break out that sound effect, Patrick.
Yes. Which one?
Yeah. Listen, it's funny. I don't drink. So as soon as I hear an alcohol question, personally, I'm just like, I'll take the other option.
So yeah, would you rather spike the punch or burn a hospital down?
Yeah.
You go
See,
for the
there I
hospital.
might.
Yeah,
change
you
my
know.
answer.
Okay. All right. Okay, so next one. Would you rather have your jaw wired shut for a month, drinking only out of a straw, or wear an eye patch for a year?
Another one you know what you gotta take on this.
You know which one you got to go with.
Yeah.
The
Why
eye
jump?
patch,
Oh.
because it's always going to have a good story because everyone's going to ask you what it is, and then you could usually pick up someone.
Exactly.
And you could also wear like colorful outfits too. Like you kind of wear like a pirate's hat or, you know.
You could do everything with that. Anything you want. The world's your oyster with the eye patch.
Mike Drew just looks so unimpressed with that answer.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know. I'll go eye patch as well.
No one
That's not-
wants it, but if you have to have it.
I've never had my jaw broken, but that's what happens most of the times, right?
Yeah. My daughter had her jaw fixed this past summer, and it was wired shut.
Oof.
And
For a month?
I kind of think so, yeah.
How do they do their teeth?
What do you mean?
Poorly.
Like, no, is there like a rinse or something they have to use instead of getting in there to brush them?
I think so. Well, she can only drink milkshakes or Ensure or some kind of protein shake. And even that was hard in the beginning.
Mm.
And then as time goes on, she could open her mouth a little bit, and then they fixed it a little more. But yeah, just the pain to go along with it. Ugh.
I had a mental picture, and you guys will hate me, but I have to say it.
Oh boy.
Imagine having your jaw wired shut, and you have to throw up.
We watched some stuff on TV that she did not like, and that became an issue.
Yikes.
Yeah.
TMI.
Well, I expected a laugh at least. I'm the only one laughing.
Oh.
Ugh, come on,
rough.
Patrick.
Jesus.
Why you bring that crap to the show?
Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
From me to me.
Oh, no, you're good. You're
That
good.
worked out. That was good.
Oh, that's
That
fine.
was good.
All right.
It is a question. I get you.
Okay. So next one. We keep going? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
after that,
Would
puke comment now.
Okay. Would you rather face a fork in the road or be forced to pick between 3 doors?
Oh, this is a real let's make a deal situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fork in the road limits your options to 2.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
your probability, the likelihood that something more positive will come is that. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would think too. True.
Okay.
I think it depends on what you're looking at or trying to do or trying to get.
Also that, yeah.
Maybe one thing kills you. You want a 50-50 shot? You want a 33.3334 shot?
Oh, yeah. Then, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it depends. As usual. Non-answer by Kyle. Yeah.
All right.
Come for the quirkiness, stay for the math.
Yes.
It's all about math.
That was the other sound bite.
Nice.
That worked out well.
I was waiting for an opportunity because we have 10 minutes left and shit, I haven't used that one yet.
Kramer versus Kramer, right? No?
Patrick versus Patrick.
Oh,
Well, yeah, exactly.
sometimes, yeah.
In the same city, nothing less. Pistols at dawn. Okay, so
On the next EETF podcast.
yeah,
This is coming up every time.
duel to the death.
You need that old Western sound effect, that ooh, that one.
That's true. Okay, so next one. Would you rather your voice sound like Elmo or Kermit the Frog?
Oh,
Oh my God.
there we go.
Kermit.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay,
No.
so here's why you go with Kermit. Because Elmo speaks in the third person, and that's annoying after a while.
That's why? No.
Well, yeah, I think so. Well, it would be like Elmo don't like. It's like, oh, come on.
Elmo talks like a baby. That's the number one answer on the board.
Who, Ray Romano or Kermit? No, I'm kidding.
No, not right. Elmo, boy. Yeah, Kermit.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Kermit.
Yeah. Patrick? Elmo or Kermit?
Kermit, yeah.
Please say Elmo. Elmo, guys, come on.
Well, I mean, yeah, Kermit the Frog. So I gotta say Kermit the Frog,
Wait,
Frog.
Oh,
You
good
know?
job. Yeah, French jokes. Love
I
a
mean,
good-
I've only heard that shit joke
Really?
500 times before in my life, so,
people in Quebec.
I just got it now. Oh my God. I was like, what are they talking about? Okay. All right.
No, outside of Quebec.
Okay.
And online as well, but yeah, whatever.
Really? Of all the ones, that's not a bad one. Of all the things to be called.
It's not a good one.
It's not a great one, but it's a frog.
Well, I mean, it's like, mix for Irish people and,
Yeah.
Krauts and a few others.
Brutal.
Last one, and it's also a callback to a previous question, actually.
Sure.
Would you rather eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or grilled cheese sandwiches every day?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
I was going to
Every
say.
day?
Every day, yeah, that's the hard part.
I mean, think back when you were in middle school. If you took your lunch, usually you took the same thing every day.
Mm.
I took ham and cheese for all of 6th grade.
We can't take peanut butter anymore.
Oh, that's true. You have to have some butter.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Well, I'm glad I'm 48.
I would go grilled cheese because usually,
Same.
it could be more versatile in terms of
Yeah.
like what you could put on the sandwich, and also usually have soup with it. So
But you'd have to watch your cholesterol.
I
This
think
is
just use like the low cholesterol butter, Mike.
old man talk. Listen, I think.
Oh, old man.
Hey, when you said this went back to a question, is it the good body versus the?
I was going to
face?
say that.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. Also
Interesting.
called back to the body versus face. And
I think that question's kind of fluff.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
That'd
Actually-
be worth it.
there you go.
Now, peanut butter and fluff, that might be a different story.
Yeah.
That's some
I
stuff.
think the peanut butter just solely on that. Like I like grilled cheese, but I could not have one every day. My heart would be like, no more. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, do you think also protein, because peanut butter gives you protein?
Protein and cheese.
So does
sort of.
cheese.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does. But I guess I was just thinking that out loud.
And actually, I will say this, Patrick. I don't know if you guys get it in the States, but President's Choice, which is a brand that you get up here, they do a no sugar jam, raspberry. I love raspberry jam; that's my favorite. But made with stevia,
Okay.
so you could get that with. But either way, a lot of bread. That's a lot of starch.
But that way you could, peanut butter jelly, you can mix it up with different jellies,
Yeah, yeah.
different peanut butters.
Yeah.
Cheese is cheese.
Mhm.
You're going to have a different cheese, but that's all you get is cheese.
Yeah. Either one, I'm not every day. Like just once a day, right? Not like every meal every day.
Yeah, that's what I assume. One meal a day, that would be that.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know, breakfast or lunch or...
See, I would get tired of peanut butter after a while and jelly.
You get tired of it all. Yeah.
I get tired of anything. Yeah.
You're eating it day after day.
Yeah, so food for thought. Okay. All right.
There's your clip.
Oh, Jesus, I hope not.
Come on. One day and a story, that'd be perfect.
Maybe like if I can, run 5 or 6 clips for one episode, might be down to that part. So, okay. So yeah, we are out of time, I guess. So thank you guys. This was a lot of fun.
It was. Thank you.
So where can we reach you online, Nick?
You could reach me at Rock and Retropod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you could check that out. And also my podcast, Rock and Retrospect, which I've had everyone in this room except for Kyle for some reason
I'll be on anytime.
as a guest on.
Sure.
And my other show, which is Needle Drops with my friend Jordan Racine. So you can find that anywhere as well. Good news. We actually were in the top 100 for US for music history podcasts. So
Nice.
I think
Nice.
it's because of Patrick and our legendary Douche Caravan episodes.
Ah, yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad I could help.
Yeah. But thank you.
I'm always up for some douchiness.
Oh,
There's your clip.
I was going to say, there's a
Yeah, there you go. Boom. Done. So thank you, Nick.
Thank you for letting me come on the show. It's always fun.
Always a pleasure. Mike, what about you?
Instagram and Threads, which I never go on, but they're the same handle. Pickies with filters, PICIES with filters. And yeah, just join me on one. You'll join me on the other, I'm sure. So
Awesome. Thank you. Kyle, what about you?
Instagram, Overkill Art, OVERKYLART.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can drop us a line at EETFpod on Twitter and Instagram as well. And yeah, that's it. So thank you guys. This was fun. And thank you, listeners. We will catch you on the next one. Thanks.